Welcome to your favorite YouTube channel. Do not forget to like, comment, and click the red button below your screen to subscribe on Custom Reports TV.
Hello and thanks for staying with us. Customs impound drugs worth 1.2 billion naira. Also on customs reports, bags of rice concealed inside sack of gari impounded by Nigerian Customs Service. Plus more reports. I am Egesemi Edinye. Stay tuned. The Tinkan Customs Command has generated a total of 117 billion naira in the month of January and April 2020, despite the lockdown by COVID-19. The figure surpasses the revenue collected in 2019 with an increase of 11 billion naira. The Customs Area Controller commended stakeholders for respecting the policies of the government. He also warned others to desist from refusing to obey the rules of clearing as approved by the management of Nigerian Customs Service. He also said in spite of COVID-19 lockdown, the command is ready to implement government policies on clearance of items from the port. He appreciated the support of the customs management led by the Controller General of Nigerian Customs Service and the effort of his officers on ground and Tinkan Customs Command.
To do with good planning. First quarter, during the last part of 2019, we had planned against our collection for 2020. So we had planned, and I think it's a result of that planning that you are seeing as part of our achievement in the first quarter. In the first quarter, that is January to March, we collected about 91.635 billion against a collection of about 78.34 billion last year. This is an improvement of about 12.7 billion, which is about 17.5% improvement in the collection. So it's not magic, it's just as a result of planning, and we are exploring the deployment of NISIS 2. That is what has been helping. And then we're looking at compliance with the import guidelines, trying to enforce it to the letter, enforcing the monetary policy, ensuring that importers pay appropriate duties, and where there are issues, we try to deploy the use of dispute resolutions so that things are treated fast, so that we achieve turnaround, quick turnaround. People can submit their declarations, do their examinations of cargo, get the cargo released and exited. So where there are issues, we ensure as a deliberate policy that those issues are resolved. So I think that has encouraged people to really work with us in trying to achieve this. So what compliance, in operations like this, where you have to implement fiscal policy, monetary policies, sometimes you have people who don't know of some of the technicalities in the policy, Over time, we have realized some of them, fall the other side because they are not aware of certain things. But what we have tried to do is to engage them. So through this engagement, what is your problem? My problem is I don't know the duty rate for this. We, as a policy, try to guide their operation, and they have seen the advantage of compliance. This advantage of compliance has encouraged other operators too to comply. So generally, what I will say is there's general improvement in compliance particularly because people have seen the advantage of being compliant. You know, people are not aware of certain aspects of our policy, either the fiscal policy or monetary policy or the other regulatory requirements. So as much as possible, we have we have the help desks, you know, that people can walk there, make inquiry. People can come to the CAC's office and make inquiry of things they are not clear with. So some of them over time have explored this advantage, and now they are on top of the job. They are top of their job. They feel free. They are happy doing the work and this thing. So I think essentially is engagement, that you engage the regulator on what is not clear to you. And if you do that, it's clear to you, and at least you are guided, and you have a dependable backing. Whatever happens, you say, he told me this is the way to go about doing this thing. And so essentially, there's awareness, general awareness in the activities and the requirements, and then the operators try to fulfill these requirements. You see, when there are issues, first and foremost, the COVID-19 is a global thing. So it is something that we are in the supply sector, and definitely is something that affects the supply sector fundamentally. You know, there's no aspect of human life that is not affected by the COVID-19. So first of all, there was the issue, the initial issue of what is even COVID-19. It created a lot of anxiety, fears. You know, there was panic. You know, people were looking at it as it's just everybody is going to die or something. But gradually, as instruction started rolling, coming up, you know, rolling, it became clear that it's something that as human beings we have to live with it. But what do we do? You know, so there was this creating of awareness, first and foremost, you know, that there is this, and this is the way to go about this. So the headquarters directives kept coming in as expected. First of all, there was, yes, we have a pandemic that is named COVID-19. This is the way to go about the safety of our personnel, our officers, safety of workplace. You know, this is the expectation. There's the issue of work schedule, that certain categories of officers should not come to work. Certain categories must be on their duty post, but they must observe these safety regulations. You know, so these are some of the directives we have received from the headquarters that essentially has helped us. You know, initially people were vulnerable, people were afraid and what have you. But with these instructions, we took it and we tried to sensitize officers, operators on how to conduct themselves. Like, if you observe the environment now, you discover everyone you see has a face mask. And then we have put literatures all over so that people can stand and read conveniently. We have placed water with soap, people can wash their hands, and then we have put placed sanitizers everywhere. People can use this sanitizer so that you, the regulator, and they, the operators, the stakeholders are all safe at the end of the day. And then we also deal with them with a lot of empathy, you know, emotions, and then you reassure them, you know, both the officers, that, look, this is the way, if you go this way, you go according to the protocol, nothing will happen. But if you go against the protocol, that is where you will have issues. So that is what we have tried to do. So what we do is we meet regularly with head of terminals, you know, that, okay, we have this issue, but this is the way to go about. We have this is the way to go about. Then they also, in turn, will go to the terminals and meet their officers. You know, at the point I had to invite all the regulatory agencies, and we have to meet on the path to go with the pandemic. And so far, alhamdulillah, I think we are good.
The Customs Area Controller in charge of Oyo and Oshu Command has generated a total of 20 billion naira in a short time. The controller said that the generated amount was due to the dedication of the officers in the command. The command also seized goods worth millions of naira, including arrests of 63 suspects arrested along with the consignment. The Oyo and Osun Area Command has generated 20 billion and made 72 seizures according to the controller. The command also seized items which include 3,465 bags of rice, 180 bales of second-hand clothing from moving train. The custom boss also said that 13 kg of 25 liters of each vegetable oil and 20 units of used tires, as well as trucks and cars, were also impounded by the command.
We have 4, cars 13, buses 6, SUVs 5, pickups 3, with duty paid value of 97,165,164 naira. For this phase of seizure, the total duty paid value is equivalent to 193,707,829 naira. In summary, the cumulative duty paid value from January to April 2020 is 312,189,456 naira only. Within the period under review, we've made 72 seizures and 63 detentions. We have carried out our enforcement and anti-smuggling activities with utmost professionalism, caution, and intelligence gathering. We urge the public to cooperate with the Nigeria Customs Service in the implementation of government fiscal policy to help improve the economic and social welfare of the nation. The Comptroller General of Customs has directed more stringent measures to further strengthen the interception capabilities of custom officers in collaboration with the extant laws and regulations guiding import-export procedures of the country. In sections 158 and 167 of Customs and Excise Management Act, SEMA, empower custom officers to patrol freely across the nation and make provision for detention, seizure, and condemnation of goods respectively. We shall continue to sharpen our intelligence and enforcement capabilities to fight smuggling and enforce compliance with extant laws and procedure, while deploying our strength and available logistics to ensure success in the battle against economic saboteurs. We invoke Section 147 and 151 of SEMA, that is Customs and Excise Management Act, with the power to search premises for custom goods and power to give rewards to informants who give genuine intelligence to help improve the capabilities of the command on anti-smuggling duties.
She said that the customs will continue to implement government policies. She also said that the fight against smuggling of prohibited items will continue.
Trucks. It was apprehended by the officers of the command at different bits of unapproved routes. There are in total 310 drums of 100 liters each. We also have 180 kegs of 25 liters each. They were all apprehended from the bush of different axes under Oyo Osho command. There was no arrest because it was in the bush. When they saw the officers, they ran for their dear life because they know the consequence. And we have to move the seizures down. Rice also were apprehended from unapproved routes. Some were concealed. Many were concealed. Our officers from different beats, like I told you, they come through the bush day and night. Our eyes, vigilant eyes on them, 247, and they were apprehended from different beats in the bush of unapproved routes. Their means of conveyance too were there. So I thank God for this huge success. We had total number of 3,465 bags of foreign parboiled rice of 50 kg each.
Yes, sir.
Buy them in trucks. We know that 600 bags make a truck. So if 600 bags make a truck, that is to say we'll be having about 6 trucks load of rice on ground now.
Yeah, in the process.
And this seizures was made in March and April. Those fairly use close. We have that information that smugglers are now following through the rail to the northern part, load from Lagos. So when we got the intelligence, we worked on it, and we went to the rail station, informed the manager about our intelligence, and seek permission that we have to examine that train at Nigeria Railway Corporation. We were obliged, and in some of the coaches, we got that 180 bills of second-hand clothing. But because of the nature of the train, which is the means of conveyance, there is no way we can bring train to the station. But this is the picture of it when my officers were offloading the bills from the train. And this is the train station here in Ibadan.
She said that customs has continued to work under COVID-19 and ensure that borders are secured and smuggling activities reduced to the barest minimum. Nigerian Customs Service Task Force operating in the western axis of the country continue to intercept goods worth millions of naira from smugglers. The coordinator of the CG Task Force also intercepted a bus carrying bags of rice concealed inside carry bags. On searching the customs, the smugglers ran away.
Okay, it is the usual concealment pattern of smugglers. Sometimes they go by the season. You see, sometimes they will use rice, they will use beans, maize, or gari to be concealing foreign rice. That is to show their desperation on smuggling. The seizure was made along this unapproved route. There was a time too we intercepted a vehicle loaded with rice, even in the compartment of the vehicle, the bonnet, the boot, everywhere, even the doormat, there was rice concealment there. We offloaded it, we brought it down to the station here, and we offloaded it. The one that they use gari and the maize, they are, like I said earlier, smugglers always they are used to this system before, and now after some time, when they will now go back to the former system in order to divert our attention.
The coordinator in charge of Customs Strike Force team in the Western Zone and his team has seized over 200 cartons of codeine shipped into the country. He said that the customs has started looking for the important agent who smuggled the items into the country.
Codeine syrup is contraband, absolutely prohibited. So that is why they are hiding it, they are concealing. If to say it's not contraband, they wouldn't have been concealing it. So they conceal it, bring it in order to take it to add to some part of the country. After getting a credible intelligence report, then our people were lay ambush on it, and successfully we arrested it and we brought it down here now.
The team also intercepted foreign rice, vegetable oil, motorbike used smuggling the consignment into Nigeria. The team also seized bales of second-hand clothing materials worth billions of naira.
You see that they use pineapple to conceal the rice, and on removing the pineapple, you can see some unspecified bag of rice inside the buses, the 2 buses, that are yet to be counted.
The team has equally seized items worth billions of naira since it took over the task force. He urged importers to continue to implement government policies without fear or favor. He therefore said that despite the COVID-19 lockdown, smugglers will desist from the act of smuggling in the country. The Western Marine Command of the Nigerian Customs Service has intercepted drugs worth over 1.2 billion naira. The customs area controller said that in spite of the lockdown, some smugglers are trying to smuggle drugs into the country to the waterways. The controller said that it is the largest single seizure of such drugs made in the command in the history of customs. The customs boss hinted that the seizure were carried out by his men under strict intelligence and surveillance for a period of 3 days.
We all know the effect in our society, the damaging effect. And I am sure that's the reason why, as far back as 1935, the government of Nigeria put an act on it called Dangerous Drug Act. In 1966, it was changed to Indian Hemp Act. In 1975, it was amended. Then in 1984, there was a decree against cultivation, buying, selling, processing of Indian hemp. Until 1989, another decree 48 enacted and established National Drug Law Enforcement Agency. And the effects, as we all know, number one, we all know that it impairs cognitive development. We all know that it impairs psychomotor performance. We are talking about movement now of a mental ability. We all know that it causes airway injury, it causes a lot of damages, lung inflammation, and so on and so forth. And if not because of the doggedness of our officers and credible intelligence, you can imagine this volume of cannabis entering Nigerian markets. You can imagine the damage it will have done to our society.
So that the suspected smugglers, seeing the customs, they jumped inside the sea and ran away. The controller said that the drugs were suspected to be coming from Ghana and has passed through other countries before arriving in Nigerian waters.
Which geographical area of the water? Okay, it was, they called the place Sashi on the IC. Sashi? Yes, on the IC. And on sighting our officers, because these smugglers, they are better swimmers. That's the truth. They are better swimmers. Sighting our officers, they jump into the sea, because they sighted the officer at a very long distance. You know, on the sea, when you are talking about 2, 3, 4 nautical miles, you can easily sight people coming. So, because it was parked by the seaside, waiting for their own boat to bring it down to our side. So, on that information, I'm just advising the general public to please be our brothers' keepers. Number one, the smugglers. The best bet for them is to stop this nefarious activity. They should have a change of life, especially at this time of COVID-19. Every one of us, this is a time of a sober reflection for all of us to sit down and look at it. Imagine having $1 billion in your village. If $1 billion is used to establish a farm settlement, most of them, I'm sure 90% of the youth will not come to Lagos or go to Abuja for anything. They will be gainfully employed, or in my village. So, based on that, my advice is that they should stop and desist from this illicit trade and go for legitimate business.
A breakdown of 2020 seizures made so far include 8,816 bags of rice, cartons of poultry products, and bales of second-hand clothing, alongside with brand new belts. Just before we round up this week edition of the program Customs Report, we brought you a report where the Nigerian Customs Service seized drugs worth 1.2 billion naira from smugglers operating in our waterways. For me, Igeseme Etinye, thanks for watching.
Thank you for watching Custom Reports TV. Do not forget to subscribe, comment, and like the video.